Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is V, and on today's episode, we are going to be focusing on a palette that was created by one of my most favorite makeup artists in all the world, her name being Pat McGrath. And just recently, I've decided to start collecting pieces from her collection here and there. It is a very luxury, higher end kind of brand, so the products do come a little bit on the expensive side, but it is totally worth it. Everything from her collection is so beautiful, so pigmented. It goes on like a dream. It blends beautifully, and it really embodies what I feel Pat McGrath is all about. So the first palette that I bought was probably the brightest out of the mini palettes that she came out with. So I really wanted to celebrate those colors in this palette and try to do a look that showcased that. So if you want to learn how to do this look, keep on watching. So let's begin. The first thing I want to do is going to be the eyes. You want to make sure that when you're doing like a dramatic eye, or if you're dealing with like bright colors that tend to fall down onto your foundation, I personally like to do that first. So if it were to fall down onto my face, it won't mess up my foundation. So I like to do my eyes first. I'm going to do this a little bit differently than what I usually do. First thing I'm going to do is my eyebrows. Please excuse my skin. I just got my brows done yesterday, and every time I get them threaded, I always break out around my brows. I think it's like from like irritation, obviously, so hopefully that will go down. So let me start with my brows. Just in case you haven't seen my other videos, this one is by Tarte Cosmetics. It's called the Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. I don't know if you can get it online. Maybe you can, but I am using Smoke. The brow place that I went to yesterday is really good. If you're here in Vegas, I go to Fabulous, I think it's called Fabulous Brows off of Durango. It's a really good place. I love when you get your brows done. It's so easy to do your brows because they're already like shaped so nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer, and I'm using it as an eyeshadow base. I really like using long wear concealers as a base. This is also a really old school way of doing an eyeshadow base. Now there's so many primers for like eyeshadow that people don't really do this as much anymore. I'm using a lighter color than what I would use like under my eyes. So I'm using it to kind of carve out my brow to make it look extra clean. And I'm using a 242 brush from MAC to apply this. And you just want to kind of put like a really thin layer. And then I'm going to buff it out a little bit right here. You don't want the concealer to be like too thick, like just thin enough to even out, or just enough to even out the discoloration on the eyelid. Some people it's going to be more, some people it's going to be less, some people don't need it. But when I like to do like a bright eyeshadow, I like to do this because it makes it pop more and it makes it look really clean. The star of the show today is going to be my Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. She came out with 3 kind of like mini-ish palettes. She has these really like the much bigger palettes available that are a little bit more expensive. They're like $125 for this eyeshadow palette. But if you don't feel like you could afford $125, or you feel like you don't need that many colors and you just kind of want like a nice edited palette to use, these are great. So these are the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership. This one is Subversive La Vie En Rose eye palette. So I love the packaging, super beautiful. It reminds me of like old school like filing folders, which I think is really cool. And it kind of opens up like this. And there you go. Those are the eyeshadows I'll be working with today. But they're so beautiful. Pat McGrath Labs have probably the best eyeshadows on the market right now. Like, so easy to blend and super pigmented and just really good eyeshadows. This particular one ranges at $55, which for 6 shadows seems like a lot, but they're like so good. And if you think about it, like if you go to MAC or something and you get like those palette refills, each of those are $10. So this is actually good value. You know, they're less than $10 each, and you get like the best eyeshadows. Okay, so we have the base down. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually going to take a base color eyeshadow. So I'm gonna use this palette here from Smashbox. I'm gonna use the bone color here. This totally helps set the concealer so it doesn't move around or crease. It also helps the eyeshadows blend better, I feel. I'm going to try to use as much Pat McGrath as possible. I don't have a lot, but I will try to use as much as possible. I'm going to take this contour shade from this palette as well, and I'm going to just kind of do like a pre-shading. So I'm going to take that contour, and I'm choosing the contour color instead of the bronzer because I usually use the bronzer because cool toned look. I'm working with purples and pinks and stuff, so I don't want to like use any kind of orange based eyeshadow. The contour is more of a gray, and it's like a cool grayish tone to it. So this to me is kind of like I'm sketching the eye. I'm kind of giving, you know, a pre-shaping before I go in. So my plan is kind of do like a look for every palette that she has. This is going to be the first palette. I bought this palette alongside the warmer kind of palette. So I'm going to come out with a video kind of doing a look for each palette that I buy. So I don't know what I should call this. Should I call this like the My Pat McGrath series? Because I really want to kind of showcase each palette because they're, you know, I don't want to just do it all at once. Because I already know I love it. I know I love the formula, the shadows, the colors, the lip colors are amazing. Her lipsticks are one of the best lipsticks on the market. I mean, they're a little pricey at $38 a lipstick, but I think they're better than Tom Ford lipsticks, and Tom Ford lipsticks are like 50 bucks, so I think it's worth it. So from the contour shade, let's go into this purple here, the lighter purple. So I'm just gonna take that and just put it like kind of right on top. Oh my god, the color pigmentation on these shadows are so good. I love them. And this is why I like to do the eyeshadow first, because especially with my purple, like if it fell down onto my foundation, I try to wipe it off, it would like totally leave like a purple cast under my eye, and you don't want that. You don't want it to look like a black eye. And that's probably why a lot of women kind of steer clear from like blues and purples, because they're afraid it's going to look like they got punched in the eye and it's going to look like a bruise. So now I'm going to take like a crease brush. This is one from MAC. It's a 224 crease brush. And I'm going to go into the deep, beautiful amethyst color here. And I am going to just kind of do like a halo moment. So I'm just going to hit the outer corners, and then get the inner corners too. You know what, you can also take like a little brush, like a 239 brush from MAC. Just gonna, because I want it to be really intense, and then blend it out. Then I'm going to take that blending brush, the 224, and just kind of buff it out a little bit. Don't be too worried about blending, and everything kind of comes together at the end. I'm just kind of placing it because I want the placement to be right. So I'm just kind of going back and forth with the brushes and laying down the color, and then I'm kind of buffing it out. Now I'm going to take that purple tiny, this is one of my favorite brushes. It's from the Makeup Shack. It's a T65, but it's like this tiny little brush, and it's so good. Like, it's good for like smoking out the bottom. And whenever you just want to like soften the edges, take that contour shade from this again. I'm just going to take my contour shade and blend it out. That's the initial color that I used. I'm just going to use that. I'm just going to soften the edges here. So I'm kind of going over those same areas one more time to kind of intensify the color. Now I am going to take another 239 brush, and I'm going into like that peachy gold color here. Like, I believe it is called Pale Fire. So I'm taking Pale Fire, and I'm just going to pop it right in the middle. Then I'm going to take the gold color. I believe it is called Gold Nectar. So I'm taking Gold Nectar, and then I'm going to just put it like on top of the Pale Fire, but just on the lash line. So you can still see the Pale Fire, just to kind of create like a highlight. I'm gonna go back in my 224 brush. I'm gonna use Paranormal, and I'm just gonna try to hit just the crease. So I'm kind of going back into that deep purple, into Purple Rain, just to make it pop. And I'm just kind of like touching it. Okay, so that's pretty much the look. It looks messy and a hot mess right now, but I'm going to clean her up and I'm going to finish it. This part always looks a mess, and then you like clean it up and it looks really cute. See, I wiped off a little too much there, so I'm just going back in with the Purple Rain to kind of fill it in again. Now I'm just going to take a little primer. Because I want my skin to glow, so I'm going to take some strobe cream in Gold Light. So I'm just going to do my foundation real quick and I'll be right back. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 4N1 Shell Beige, using a paddle buffing brush to really get it super flawless and smooth. Underneath the eyes, I'm using Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer in the shade Light Warm. I don't really use this much concealer, but I really want it to look clean and to be very brightening under the eyes. I will be blending that with the Echo Tools sponge. I love the sponge because it gets into every nook and cranny. After that, I will be setting it with the Coty Airspun Loose Setting Powder using an Inglot Puff. So, of course, after complexion, I have to warm up this mug so I don't serve Vampire Lestat realness. I'm using my Kevyn Aucoin bronzer in Desert Days, my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in medium, using the Kevyn Aucoin contour brush. As you can see, I am using it on the perimeter of my face, emphasizing my cheekbones, going into my hairline and underneath the jaw. By doing this, this is really going to help warm up the foundation and bring life back to the skin, so it doesn't look so flat and so pale, because you've completely taken out all the undertones in your face and you are literally just one color, especially when you're working with a foundation that's so full coverage as the Estee Lauder Double Wear. So I feel like this is really important if you don't want to look dead. Let me contour my nose a little bit. So after the complexion, it is back to the eyes. We have to curl these lashes and get them ready for the mascara. So for the mascara, I am using the Smashbox Superfan Mascara. I love this formula because it's still very thickening and lengthening, but it's very separating and it won't hold your lashes down and bring down that curl you spend so much time on. And it really gets your lashes ready for the falsies. So the lashes I'm using are by the Makeup Shack. They're called Dubai. I love these. Every time I wear these, people are constantly like, oh my god, your lashes are so pretty. What lashes are those? And they're like only $7. So for a lip, I'm going to do kind of like a bright, hot, pink, magenta lip to complement this dramatic eye. I'm taking a Kiko, I don't know if they have these anymore, but it's a Kiko Milano Double Match Lipstick and Lip Liner. I'm just using the lip liner side. And for lipstick, I'm using Dior number 475 in Rose Caprice. Oh, I forgot. Let me forgetting my lashes. Lashes are on, lipstick is on. I'm just letting my lashes dry a little bit before I press them together. While they're drying, I'm using the Pat McGrath. I don't know if she makes this anymore. She doesn't actually. This came in one of her kits. This is the black smudge liner eye kohl. But she does have like a really amazing gel liner that you can get at Sephora. It's amazing. But I love this because it's so soft. And I'm just going to do like a tight line on the inside, like so. Press my lashes together so they look cohesive and blended. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of this and just go on the inside too here. Oh, so good. Blend this out a little bit. Throw on some mascara on the bottom. Boom. It's done, girl. It's done.
Let me sit this ass on you. Show you how I feel. Let me take this off.
Okay, wait. I need a little blush. I need a little bit of blush. So I'm going to take Dior number 846. Pop just a little rosy cheek action to kind of complete the look. So glam, this look. It's so pretty though. Boom. That's it. I need earrings. So guys, this is the look. I threw on some Dragalicious earrings. And am I the only one that does that? That puts on like gaudy, draggy kind of earrings with a very casual outfit? Well, that's me. I tend to do that. I like that little bit of glam mixed in with a little bit of casual. So what do you guys think of the look? I think it's very glam, very dramatic. I love the pigmentation of these eyeshadows. These eyeshadows are like so amazing. Each eyeshadow just looks so well thought through. You can tell she really put it through a lot of testing, through the rigors of the makeup artist's life and how it wears and photographs. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Definitely go out and get this if you can afford it. I mean, it is a pricey eyeshadow. It's definitely a luxury eyeshadow. Just those 6 colors is $55. The bigger palettes are $125. The whole line is beautiful. But thank you, Pat McGrath. I love, love, love your product. It's like literally on my top. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. And if you want, you can follow me on Instagram at Veronica Ray MUA. Let me know what you think and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks guys. Bye.